आज की ताज़ा खबर। बेंगलुरु में रहने वाले लू और अमेरिका में रहने वाले सिड आपसे कुछ बात करना चाहते हैं। संगीतकार राजेश के साथ आपका स्वागत है लूसिड में।
What's going on, people? I'm Lew.
And I'm Sid.
And we are Lucid.
What's up, Lew?
All going, same thing. But
Bro.
pretty exciting. New kind of life. Huh.
Yeah, bro. It's like I'm back to Bangalore. I'm so happy.
Shit, bro. Oh my goodness. How could I just ignore that fact when we just started today's podcast? I can't believe I did that. But damn, yeah. Our boy Sid here is back in Bangalore.
Yes.
Probably ignored it because we are still doing this shit online.
Yeah.
We're not doing it in person. I mean, the next episode we need to do it in person, bro.
Definitely, bro.
Please.
Definitely.
Okay.
But I have to tell our audience the reason why we are doing this online. Like we are trying to test out a new platform. We want to scale our podcast into video podcast and stuff. So yeah, hopefully it works out.
Yeah. So yeah. Before we get into anything, okay. So how do you find India now, Sid?
Oh my god. I've been like I've been asked this question so many times. So I'll tell you like my first initial reaction while the plane was landing into Bangalore airport, like the descent, like while the flight was descending, I wanted to literally scream out of my lungs, saying, "Yes, I've come, made it!" Damn, it felt so good, and
That's awesome.
yeah, like my parents standing outside the airport was really nice, and bro, I thought like I know it's just been like 8 months, but I thought things would have changed, like at least the buildings or like people. But I'm very happy that everything is the same.
Nothing's
Feels like
changed.
I'm back and I fit into everything. It feels really good.
Crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it was past 8 months, time got still also, no?
yeah,
So,
bro.
for your sake, everything stopped, every process stopped until you're back here.
Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, bro. Enough about me. Tell me about you, bro.
No,
Like,
1 second. One
tell,
last
bro.
thing. Okay.
Yes.
So, when you were leaving India, okay,
Huh.
there was this humongous ass crowd that was there to send you off, including me.
Huh.
Okay. When you came back to India, how many people were there in the airport waiting
Uh,
for you?
3 people: my dad, my mom, and my aunt.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you tell me,
uh,
who are the real people who care about you?
I
Putting
mean,
in all the
everyone's.
ugly questions. Ugly questions, no?
Yeah.
Unnecessarily ugly questions.
Too sad, bro. It's like 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Can't expect everyone to wake up and come. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
yeah,
by the
bro.
way, guys, Sid bought me like really good chocolates. I've been having them
Yes.
since 2 days now. My
Basically, I bought
favorite
you
chocolate
Reese's
is Reese's.
chocolates. I bought you
Yeah.
Reese's.
Reese's is my favorite. I see you get it now, even in India, all that is fine. But still, when a dude goes to America and
I
gets it
know.
for you, it's the best feeling. It's a feeling like, yeah, amazing.
Bro, I bought
Hmm.
Reese's chocolates only for you, bro. Didn't give anyone else.
Please. But I also think no one really likes it so much except for me. So it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's okay, bro. Just take the compliment. Don't have to
Peace,
be
bro.
pessimistic.
Peace, bro. Peace.
But yeah, bro, you should tell. You quit job and all last month, and it's been around 3 weeks. How's the transition been?
Oh, it's been very interesting to say the least.
Huh?
See, one thing. Okay, so 3 weeks back. Oh my god, yeah, exactly. I think around 3 weeks. So, um, the first week I was just sitting at home. I wanted to go so many places. Wanted to visit so many, you know, do a lot of trips and shit, but nothing I did. I just sat at home.
Huh?
So we had like a lot of pre-readings to do before joining this place, ISB. And I did only very few of them in that one week. So The
Right.
only thing I did in that 1 week is stress about the fact that I didn't do pre-read. That's all.
Right.
And met a few of my cohort members who are in Bangalore. So
Huh.
that was fun. Um, the second week onwards is when it began. So the first 2 weeks is called O week. Okay, so
Okay.
basically it's like
Orientation week, guys.
orientation week plus seniors like really conducting a lot of games and competitions for us,
Oh,
because you
huh.
get only these 2 weeks with your seniors. I mean, because
Okay.
it's only a 1 year program.
Right.
So in these 2 weeks you get this. They build the 2 weeks so well.
Uh-huh.
Like you get put into sections and all of that, but then the best
Right.
part about it is um, they really focus on how you can build bonds with people in just 2 weeks, like very quickly. Get to know people and build, cross over that first line of
Mm-hmm.
not being able to approach anyone. So that is, I
Right.
think, super important, and they made it so seamlessly in these 2 weeks. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the games, the competitions, and all, right? I mean, that just seamlessly worked out. That everyone just started gelling with each other. It was really, really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was fun. So the past 3 weeks has been fun. I had my first class, like
Ooh.
proper class yesterday and today. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's very new subjects for me. I really like it. So
Tell
yeah,
us, like,
interesting.
tell me, bro, like, because like I've been in RV undergrad and then Duke grad school. I want to know, like, how is an Indian B school class like the structure of the class and like the way they
Mhm.
teach. How is it different?
I can't talk for all B schools, but at least over
Yeah.
here, it's, I think, very similar to how these US folk do it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we have only, for now at least, we have only 2 hours of class every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have like hell loads of reading to do before the class and after the class, assignments to do, and so most of your time goes away there.
Right.
2 hours you spend in class with, like, participating in class, like having discussions and stuff. And then, I mean, this is like basically the academic structure. And so because this is just a 1 year program,
Mm-hmm.
every 2 weeks you have a exam, like a proper midterm exam or a end term exam.
Shit,
So
that's
yeah, you have like,
intense.
about 4 to 6 subjects in each term. So right now this is the first term, so you're like, they're just grooving you in, so we have only 3 subjects. But usually it's around 4, I guess. um, that's the academic construct of it all. You get a lot of resources, but I mean, just no time to do it maybe. But you
Right.
get hell lots of stuff, like you get free Harvard Business Review, you get
Mm.
free Ken subscription, you get economic, what's it called,
Times.
whatever, Economist,
Okay.
then Wall Street Journal.
Huh.
All of these things, you get resources, you get something called Capital IQ, so many things. Okay, you get it all, but
Right.
then where do you have the time to do it? You gotta like find out if you really want it. So it's like, yeah, everyone finds their path apparently here, so that's interesting.
Yes.
uh,
I am really interested to know, like, 1 year from now, where will you end up? Because I've
oh
known you from undergrad, and like, I think like for both of us, we did not like. I don't know if we actually thought we'll be in this position like 3 years later from undergrad. So it's really interesting times. But bro,
yeah.
like take like let's go back like 8 months, no, and I remember like both of us discussing a lot about like what you wanted to do next, because you were uh like you were fairly good at your work, like you were a digital designer at your company, and you were doing a lot of things in terms of extracurricular and stuff like that, and you didn't know which direction to do go, and like what made you finally choose MBA?
See, I think in the end of the day, I don't want to be too open about it, but then
Hmm.
I think one of the key reasons is I didn't know if that career line was for me. Okay, if getting into complete electronics, seriously
Right.
into it,
Hmm.
I didn't know if it was for me. This thought process actually came in about 1.5 years into the job. Actually kicked in a lot during the pandemic, because I was at home, don't really have teammates around, so can't really
Correct.
have this constant chatter discussions that keep happening, and you're fully into work. when you're at home, you have this time for yourself where, that chatter is first of all not there. Okay. People coming to your cubicle, you get these moments where you are bored of doing the work, right? And what so happens that in office, it's about the same time that others also kind of feel that, and then you go
Correct.
for a coffee, then you talk some random stuff, then you come back, right? But here at home, you don't have that luxury. So what happens? Your mind wanders, okay, and your
Right.
mind starts to think, so am I really liking the things that I'm doing? Is this kind of like, where do I see myself? See this these kind of questions. The problem is, I guess I just never asked myself in
Hmm.
throughout my life. Where do I see myself 5 years down the line? Where do I see myself 10 years down the line?
All the
These
interview
questions I
questions.
always hated. I hated these questions. Okay, but then it so happened that I started asking myself such questions.
Right.
And then that's when I kind of like thought that maybe, see, I have these so many extracurriculars that I kind of also do. And yeah, like you said, at work I wasn't that bad. I was rated pretty well also, by my colleagues and managers and everyone. But I guess there was always this thought where, 5 years down the lane, would I still want to do this? That is one.
Right.
The second thing was, do I really want to become a technologist?
Hmm.
Because see, I kind of like went through my, like, my life kind of like flashed in front of my eyes. So it was always that I pick something up, I like it for a while, okay, and then I move on to something new. I like it for a while, and then as soon as like I get bored of it, I move to something else. I like it for a while, and the while, when I say like it for a while, the duration is like flexible. So some things
Right.
last for a year or two, something lasts for just 2-3 months, and some things might last even for like many years. So it's like, it was always kind of like, what I kind of understood is, it's always like, until now at least, I am still trying to figure things out. Okay, I still don't know what exactly I want, and what is a degree, or what is something that will give me some time to figure this out. And I was looking at, maybe I should go ahead and study. And also this thing where you went to study, and I mean, so
Right.
many others of my friends went to study, that amount of peer pressure also was there, that, oh, people are going and studying. That again induced with the pandemic, where you're alone at home, more and more thoughts. So that kind of thought brought me to thinking, should I do some kind of masters or something? So then that's when the question of technologies came in, and I really thought, what is MS for me? Okay, see, science, like, I kind of like science, okay, but I don't know if it is something that I want to do lifelong. It is something like a passion hobby kind of thing, which I love to watch all these, fascinating YouTube videos and stuff, but I'm not really a guy who wants to do some research on it, because masters involves some amount of project and research work. Already did an engineering where my projects I didn't quite, was interested a lot in. So that's when I thought maybe others. Okay, and then I came across like Master of Arts and all of that, and I was like very interested. But then I
Yeah.
was like, that shit doesn't pay. I'll be honest with myself, that shit doesn't pay.
Yeah.
And having worked in this place, the money, I kind of got addicted to money. I mean,
The comfort,
it's
basically,
ugly.
not the money.
Yeah, comfort. Yeah, got addicted to the comfort that comes along with money. That's absolutely right. So once that kind of happened, then I kind of thought, okay, what is a degree that would allow me to explore, and also give me the flexibility to probably look at other kind of options while I'm like, right after I finish it. And then the best kind of degree that is there for people like me, okay, it is, I truly believe that it is made for people like me. MBA, where, you learn such multidisciplinary kind of fields, like marketing. Then, I don't know why only marketing comes to my head right now, but
Economics, sales,
economics, then accounts, like
finance.
all kinds of finance, and everything across the board. You learn operations, strategy, everything. So, basically in and out of how a business should operate. Okay. And it doesn't just sit with business, because you're reading up so many things and you're doing so many case studies. You're kind of getting small nuggets of everything around you. So I thought that that kind of fits my personality the best. And then another thought was, okay, MBA and all is fine, but then what after MBA? Like, where career? Again,
Right.
again back to same kind of questions. Like, what if I hate, or not hate exactly, but what if
Feel the
I'm
same
not
way.
comfortable with the job that I get after an
Right.
MBA, after paying so much and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of thought, well, I mean, might as well try out. No point thinking so much.
Hmm.
Um, So even if I do think it's like probably will take up some career like consulting or something where the projects are like time bound and then you move into a completely different field, at least short term, this is like kind of the thought process that I had. Very, very, very long answer.
No, but that's good. Detailed answer. I think it's very important because like I remember having the same podcast but reverse where you were asking me why I chose MBA and
Yeah.
degree and all that.
Yeah.
So
Go check out that podcast,
yeah.
guys.
So like different perspectives help like people when they're listening, right? So it's good for a detailed answer. But like the next question is, okay, now you're like, okay, I want to do MBA. The next immediate question is, should I do it in India or should I do it in the
Oh,
US
right.
or other countries?
Right.
I know
Oh,
you
I too
struggled with
struggled.
it for like so many months. So
Yeah.
yeah, you should talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, see, it again depends on like, I think in the end of the day I kind of chose with I chose India. Okay. That's the overall answer.
Yeah,
I think the thing comes from personality point of view and not from opportunity point of view. So it's like, I guess I kind of really yeah, like you said, I was struggling for many months, really kind of figuring out if I want to go abroad or not, because see, abroad rise, it is so inviting, it is so
tempting.
tempting to go abroad. I mean, because see, I'm a person who loves to explore, loves to travel, okay, want to meet new cultures, see new people and all of that. But then there is also this part of me which is very, very grounded, okay, which is like, which looks at roots, family, for the people, society, all this kind of communist thoughts also I have, okay. Though I am a capitalist, but then I still have these kind of thoughts like I should do something for my people, my community. These are certain thoughts that I keep having. And I think that overtook my ambitions of world
Mhm.
domination. But
Right.
yeah, so I think over the months, after like a lot of I kept writing in my journals, like
Mhm.
different thoughts that would come. And more often than not, this is weird, okay, more often than not, going abroad had much more pros than
Right.
staying in India. Okay,
Mhm.
always, every single time I started writing. And staying in India had only very few pros, like I mentioned, okay, and it always had something to do with what I had personally in mind.
Personally, right.
And and going abroad had so many merits in just in terms of opportunities and the things you can get to learn, the people that you can get to meet, okay, the network that you will build. And then it's not like once you go abroad you're not going to come back, okay, but then
Right.
also of course there's this comfort factor and all that you get once you go abroad, okay. There's basically, it's like your individual life just changes dramatically once you go abroad, undoubtedly. But then yeah, I mean, I guess I'm also this spiritual kind of fellow, want to take this 1 month journeys to temples and all this weird shit also I do. So I think all of those, mainly it was like a personality decision. I knew that there is not a lot of merit staying here, but I do want to say that I am open to working abroad, like
Right.
after an MBA, if at all my job like asks me to do it, I will take the opportunity, undoubtedly I will take the opportunity. But I chose to study in India for the fact that the I will have much more, a wider network in India, so that
Right.
even if I go abroad I
You
can
can
come
come
back
back.
here and work with my network here. So
Hmm.
um, that's
One
that's the
interesting
answer.
thing I realized is that Lou is gonna go on a 1 month spiritual trip to temples. So we'll have
For
a
sure.
podcast on that soon.
That is for sure going to happen, and it's going to be more like so it's going to be like this, tough climbs to temple like
Right.
Kedarnath and those
Right.
kind of places, where they, I don't know, I want to go to temples that test you, okay. I don't want to,
Um.
like Tirupati tests
Yeah.
you, man. I mean, it
True.
doesn't test you because of the climb or anything, just the amount of crowd that
People.
is there. That tests you. But yeah, jokes apart, yeah, I do think I will do that at some point in my life. Maybe not
Awesome.
now. I'm not like that into temples and shit
Right.
now.
And you
But
have
then
ISB
I'm pretty
also,
sure,
bro. The call is gonna beat you up if you go
obviously
to the
that won't
temple.
happen. Yeah, God only will come and beat me up.
Yeah. Okay. So So you said that there were like so many pros to like going abroad and doing a MBA, but like if you had to pinpoint to one uh like one thing that uh that made you stay in India, what would that be? Is it like your values, or like you felt like you'd be more grounded to Indian values by doing a master's here? Is it more like, for you, was it like a personal thing, or yeah, can I say if it's more of a personal thing rather than an opportunity
Yeah.
wise this thing, like wise decision?
Undoubtedly, it was a personal decision.
Right,
It had no rationality behind it. That, I guess, that is the most
right,
obvious way to put it,
right,
because every rational thing kind of told me to go abroad.
right.
Um, but also, okay, one amount of rationality was, I spoke to Tonse about it.
Mm-hmm.
I told him my bias also. I told him that I want to stay in India. Can you give me
Right.
some rational points as to why I should stay in India? I asked it to him like this. Okay.
Huh.
And then he was telling me, it is just because of the fact that he knows markets, financials,
Right.
and stuff, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me that India is a great market now to, because it's a growing market, a lot of startups coming in. Since Flipkart, I read this today. Since
Mm-hmm.
Flipkart became a unicorn, when it became the first or the second unicorn, 93 unicorns have come since then
Right.
in India.
Right.
And those are big numbers, okay, for a country like us, and in the growth in which it's happened.
True.
So, and given at how we have like so fast and so well efficiently moved in fintech as well, it kind of really kind of shows me that our path is kind of really growing, and probably looks like more external investment is going to come in. A lot more Indians might come back to India in the end of the day.
Right.
So in that sense, I guess he kind of gave some rationality, but then it didn't convince me a lot, because, like I said, right, even if you go abroad, if opportunity calls you back here, you will come
You can
back here.
come back.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but then that was a good kind of rationale that I had, which I could use in my books. Say,
It's like,
um,
yes, I can take this point and defend
yeah.
against
I think another very, very important thing, again, a personal thing, is the
right.
fact that parents, right? Okay.
Hmm.
So it's like, I mean, I just guess it's the way we are kind of brought up
Mm-hmm.
in the localities that we stay. This we have this thing that, we have to take care of our parents
Correct.
when they're old.
Yeah.
Though I have some very controversial views on this, okay, which I don't think is good for the current podcast today.
Right.
But I have some very, very very bad views on this. Let's just say bad views, okay, because I have some very, I would say, good points that,
Uh-huh.
why it's not your responsibility to take care
Mhm.
of your parents. But yeah, that for some other day. But that is another thing that kind of stopped me.
Right. Got it. Okay. So you finally you're like, okay, cool. Want to do MBA in India, is like, then is like the preparation time, right? Like what exams did you have to take? How did you prepare? How hard was it? Because you had to write a test after 2 years, like prepare for a test after
Right.
2 years.
So I'll be very honest with you. It was too bad, man. So the first time, so what happened was, so I wanted to, because initially I was just like MBA. I didn't know abroad or India,
Right.
and I knew that a lot of colleges in India take GMAT score and or
Hmm.
GRE score. But sorry, I didn't want to take GRE because I didn't want to study vocabulary. Honestly, that was the reason. Okay, I didn't want to do vocabulary, so I was like, at least GMAT, everything is logical.
Right.
GMAT is supposedly a tougher exam, but I was like, no way in hell I'm going to study vocabulary. So I took GMAT.
Right.
So the first thing I did was, I took a mock test. I think some portal. I guess GMAT only has a portal. I'm not sure,
Hmm.
but somewhere I took a first mock test just to see where I stand, to evaluate that. Okay.
Right.
My goodness, I did so badly. Okay, I got 580 out of 800, 580
Yeah.
or 610. I'm not sure which one of these two, but I got that score, and I did so badly in math. Okay, I was like a math, like, really, really good at math
Right.
until my undergrad. Okay, then I went, worked for 2.5 years, come back here, absolutely zero skills in math. Okay,
Uh,
I scored more in English than math. I guess it was because I started reading more books and all.
right.
So scored better in English than math, and I was shocked. I was literally shocked. Okay, I was like, how could I not do math well? Okay,
Right.
and then that's how it started. And then, well, I guess it honestly the only thing that I had to do was sit and study. Okay, it was hard initially to even sit for 10 minutes, like 10 minutes or 5 minutes I couldn't sit like at a stretch. I always used to take up my phone, see something
Yeah.
else, do something else. Okay, I used to, weirdly enough, I used to wait for work calls when it was time for studying. Okay, I was like, I cannot study, let me do work at least. Okay, so that would used to happen. And then I guess you suggested to me, I think you only suggested to me, you said, bro, just book the date. Okay, if you book
Right.
the
Yeah.
date,
Yeah.
you will shut up and study. Okay,
Yeah.
so then I was like, okay, fine, I booked the date. The date, I guess, was like about 2 months or 1.5 months or 2 months
Right.
away from when I started. So then I was like, oh shit, I paid like 20K for this. Like, it
Now
was
you have to do it.
almost 20K. I was like, shit, 20K gone out of pocket. So now I have to sit and study. So then what I did was, I didn't want to shell out more cash. Okay, honestly, I didn't want to shell out more cash. So what I did was, so my company had this online library called Caleb. Okay,
Okay.
where you could just source library books, like any book.
Okay.
And then I just went there and saw if they had a GMAT guide, and
They
they
did.
ended up having one. Okay, and
Oh,
I was like, oh
nice.
great! I just took that book from library, and
Huh.
then I prepared completely with that. So my preparation strategy was like, every day I'll work for about 3 hours with
Okay.
that book.
Oh,
So
okay.
every single problem in that book, I will solve.
Hmm.
It was as simple as that. Okay, I didn't want to have some extraordinary strategy or something. I just
Okay.
told myself 1 hour in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. Just give
Okay.
yourself that time
Huh.
and solve every single problem. So the thing was flexible. If I had mood to do math, I would do math. Otherwise, I would do English. All that was flexible. But then my focus was to finish everything in English and then focus a little bit on math and stuff.
Math.
So that another thing was, I guess, okay, actually I did spend more money. I joined this thing called EduShastra,
Right.
where
But
they
before
they
that,
taught
which book was this? Like the standard GMAT.
GMAT official guide. Yeah, the official
Okay.
guide book.
Okay.
I took they didn't have the latest version. I got the older version, 2019 version or something,
Okay.
which was sufficient according to me. Another thing that I took up was EduShastra's coaching for CAT. Okay,
Right.
because
Huh.
I was unsure where what to do, so I just was like, okay, let's pay for this. Let's study for
Mm-hmm.
CAT also. So then, yeah, they really helped me out with scoping back in math,
Okay.
because and my acceleration in learning back in math was very fast. So like,
Hmm.
I think within some 2 weeks I was like back to like pre joy pre work levels of
Right.
my math capability. So then yeah, like that I just went on doing it, and then I wrote my GMAT, ended up getting peaceful score. I got a 720. So
Yeah.
from 580 I went to 720. Guys, everyone can do it. You guys can do it. If I would have put more effort, some
Mm-hmm.
days would be like I could not study. Okay, 3 hours and all. I would just be like, fuck it. Okay,
Right.
so if I would have just put little bit more effort, I could have easily touched 760 or something
Mm-hmm.
easily. But well,
It's
I didn't
okay.
want to put effort, so it's
You
not
got
like
your
I'm
school.
complaining.
You got your school.
Yeah. So yeah, so just want to let you all know that you can do it. When the first time I got 580, I literally lost it. I was like, shit, I am not capable for anything. Okay, full sad I became. But then yeah, eventually I got there. Wrote the GMAT,
Right.
and
But
then
before that,
didn't.
how many you took like good number of mock tests, right? Like just to see if you improved or not.
Yes. So I took. So the first mock test I took before
Yeah.
studying anything. Then I studied a little bit in the middle of the preparation. So 1.5 month middle, right? At
Right.
that time frame, I took another test. I got
Huh.
a 660, I think. So I
Hmm.
there was significant improvement, and I was
Improvement.
very happy. Okay,
Right.
I was just happy the fact that I improved, but 660 was not at all enough for any good college.
Right.
So that happened, and then from there, I guess another 2 weeks later, I took another mock, and then I kind of improved to 680. But this time the improvement wasn't that great. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's also because I slacked out a little bit, because I saw such a big jump. No, so I
He's
was
like,
like,
yeah.
dang, I can do it. But then that was a reality check again, and then I took my final mock
Right.
2 days before the exam, 2 or 3 days before the actual exam, and
Mm-hmm.
I got 720.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh damn, I got 720. I
Peace.
should probably study a little bit more in these 2-3 days. I can manage 740 or something, but then I
Okay.
ended up getting 720 only again. So
Damn.
one more thing. Okay, a lot of
Huh.
people told me who took up the GMAT.
Hmm.
The official test, which is there, official you get 2 free mocks if you book an exam.
Right.
Whatever score you get in that official mock, right?
Huh.
It is most likely the same score that you will get in your actual exam. It's
Oh.
weird how the algorithm works, but
Right.
they are super effective in their algorithm. So what
Right.
I kind of followed was those 2 mocks. I saved it. So
For the
the
last.
first mock I took it the first,
Huh.
and then the last mock in that I saved it for like the last attempt. The middle 2 mocks I think I took it from this Edishastra guys. I requested them for like a GMAT mock and stuff, so they gave me.
Okay.
So
Damn.
that's where I took the middle 2.
Yeah. That's really interesting because even for GRE, like they have these standardized mock tests, and I took two of them just before the actual test. And both the tests, one I got 319, the other one I got 321, and my actual score was the average of those two, 320.
Oh, crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, like you also wrote like other tests, right?
I wrote one other test, which
Yeah.
was XAT. So actually, I chickened out to write CAT. So the story is like this. Okay, so basically, I wrote GMAT. Okay, and
Huh.
then after that point is when I decided that I only had one college in mind.
Hmm.
Honestly, guys, only one college I had in mind, ISB. Okay, and I was like, I'll just apply for ISB, and I didn't want to spend extra money, didn't want to put in
Hmm.
higher consultant. Most stupidest thing I've done probably,
Hmm.
because I think it is required. I mean, required in the sense that you need someone to kind of you
Guide
don't
you.
need to hire a consultant. You need someone who knows the process, or at least someone who's seen it before. Any friend of yours or an alum, anyone, to like just guide you through what they're kind of expecting. Okay,
Right.
I did not do anything. I just was like, no, you should be very original in your essays. So I was like, let me just write whatever I want to. I did
Hmm.
that. I just ran those essays through a few of you,
Hmm.
and then submitted all of that, and then I got my interview call. My interview went ballistically bad. Okay, it was so bad. I knew for a fact I won't get here. Okay, so then what happened was, after that I got my result in like December beginning. I was in Mumbai that time, I remember.
Hmm.
So I got my result, and then middle of the night, it told me that I was waitlisted. And
Right.
then what the thing about waitlist is that only about 20% of the waitlists clear it. Okay.
Hmm.
And then I knew that my interview was so bad I won't clear it. So then I was super dejected that I did not attempt or study for CAT at all. Okay.
Right.
I was like, we'll see, we'll do something, we'll figure it out. Okay. And then I did zero preparation. I was also I had a lot more work at office. So then I was also focused there. So then I didn't quite do prepare. So what I did was I went for a shoot instead of doing instead of writing CAT. I just like that day CAT exam morning. My mom and dad are like, oh, so you're woken up so fast, you're going to write exam and all full. Okay, I was like, no, 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 shoot is at 6 a.m. That's why I woke up this early. I'm going to go for shoot. Then they didn't tell me anything at that point, but then when I came back, they scolded me very badly, and I mean, obviously they would, and a lot of people told me
Yeah.
that you could
Should
have
have just
just
at least
attempted.
written. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what wrong in just going? You paid for it and all of that. But then I
Correct.
was like, I did it, whatever.
Hmm.
It's something that I took a decision in the whim of the moment. And
It's fine.
also, it's not like I didn't enjoy the shoot, so it's fine.
It's fine.
In my
Yeah.
head, all that only was running. I was just trying to pacify myself. But
Right.
then after that, I was like, you know what? I did this mistake, should not repeat such a mistake. So let's just take up another exam. And then there was a ZAT exam, basically for Xavier XLRI. So then I took up that. So I registered for it on the last day, and then I prepared for 2 weeks for that. And then I ended up getting a very good percentile. I got like a 98.9 or something percentile.
Hmm.
But then I did so bad in decision making section. Okay, there are like 3 sections, and then the one
Right.
section is decision making. I
Okay.
couldn't clear that decision making cutoff. Okay, my math and
Oh.
English was super notch, so good that I got
Huh.
that 98.9. But then my decision making was so bad that I couldn't clear the thing, so I didn't get an interview call.
Damn.
And then after all of that was then I was like, you know what, maybe one more college I should look at. And then that's when I was really searching and all. And then that's when I came across Bitsom, which is like Bits Pilani's newest business school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really liked it. I really liked it. I fell in love with the school, the entire ideology of it. And then I applied for it. They took GMAT score, and then I got the interview. I cleared the interview, got in also. But then the funniest thing is, one day before the interview, I got my ISB admit. Yeah, and yeah, I was super upset about getting the admit, because
Yeah,
in
I
that
remember
moment,
that.
that time frame, in that frame of mind, I was all like, "Oh, Bitsom it is, Bitsom it is," and I had lost complete hope in ISB. But yeah,
And you had
somehow
planned
it worked
everything,
out.
right? Getting the Bitsom admit, and then after getting the admit, what you want
Yeah.
to do and all that.
Yeah, I had planned out so many trips in May, April. Okay, I also quit my job. Like I didn't get any admit, and I was like, you
Right,
know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit. So
right,
in Feb 20th or something, I quit. And you know, I was pretty darn sure that I'm gonna give it my all for Bitsum, because
right,
none of the other two I gave any. I didn't give my 100%. But for Bitsum, I was like confident that I'm gonna give 100%, and I also had this faith that I could do it. So then, you know, all that confidence kind of led me to, you know, quit the job also. And then I also thought, if I don't get, I'll just do something else in life, fuck it.
right. One
So
question,
yeah.
bro. You had confidence, okay, but like, how did you convince your parents to leave such a cushy job?
Oh, that was, I mean, you know, the funniest thing is they're still not happy. Like my dad still gets upset thinking about the fact that I quit my job. You know, it's still there. Like even after getting
Getting
into,
a
you
really good
know,
school.
ISB, which is one of the best business schools in India and all of that. Okay, it has all the
He
tagline and
doesn't
all.
care.
He doesn't care. He's just like, you left such a good company, such good managers. I mean, I can't disagree with him. It
Right.
really was a very good place to work. It was,
Mhm.
my team was really good. There was very good culture. My managers were great, all of that. But then, you know, at one point I was just like, you know, I just can't do this anymore. Okay. And
Right.
then we had multiple conversations, but then there was one conversation where I really went mad. Okay. Like
Okay.
I couldn't keep my composure anymore. Okay. Because usually I used to like talk very sweetly and all. I
Huh.
used to tell them, see, this is what I want to do, all that. But that one conversation I remember so vividly, because they didn't see me like that after a very long time. They saw me like that after a very long
Hmm.
time. So I just lost it on them, and I told them, see, this is my life, blah blah blah, all that, all this kitty shit, bro, that you'll see in Netflix movies. No, same shit I did. Okay. So after that, my mom was convinced. My mom was like super convinced that, you know, this boy really does not want to, you know, stay here anymore.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but my dad was still like, go, you'll tell all this shit. Then once you leave, only then only you'll realize, okay, and stuff. So it's somehow I just like convinced. I mean, after one point, it was more than convincing. It was just like, you people say what you want, I will do what I
I'll do.
want. It
Right.
just ended up being like that.
Right. Right. Okay. Damn, bro. But yeah.
What? Wait, before going forward, what did you do to convince your parents? Because even you had to go through a convincing curve. So,
Yeah, but I had admit, no.
but okay. What I mean to say is, there was some point where you
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
convince, that to even go abroad. Okay, yeah. Talk about that.
Okay, there were like two things. One was going abroad, and the other thing was because of the pandemic. Like, what do I do if
Right.
like no admit and all that stuff? So I think to go abroad, I was like, see, I do not want to. Like once I joined my company, I realized that same as you, I do not want to be an applications engineer developing USB-C products. Like I remember walking into like my cubicle where there are like all my colleagues sitting around me, and they're all senior colleagues. They're all like what, like 8 to 10 years of experience, and I imagine
Hmm.
myself to be in their position, like 8 to 10 years from now. Like if like
Got it.
I'm trying to see myself in their position.
Totally
I
connect.
hated it. I hated it. I am like like I did, like it was not right for me, and I'm like, no, this is not happening. I can't be here. So I'm like, okay, I need to I need to be very active and decide what I want to do. And same as you, it was like either MBA or MEM, but I just done 2 years of college. And I remember having a conversation with my friend who was doing MEM degree. He was like, what I if you really want to quit your job right now, do a MEM, but I'd suggest work for 4 years and do a MBA, which has higher value. But I was very impatient. I'm like, I'll figure it out later. But now I will do MEM, and I say I'm very happy with that decision. Don't know if I regret it later, but right now I'm very happy with it. So, so yeah, coming to parents, I just told them like the truth. At first, I explained them my case. I told them like, hey, this is what is happening. I don't like my current job, and one good thing is my parents are in a business background, so I'm like, see, it's in my blood to work in a business
Yeah,
background, so it's
that's good.
better. So it's better if I join a business background. And second part is like, I also told them about like the opportunity cost. Like, if you go to the US, the salary is much higher. What, like, you pay back your loan in 1 year. After that, you get good amounts of money plus exposure. And
Uh-huh.
like, at least my parents, I've always told them that, in the, like, say in the future, I always want to either start a business or a company. And having that exposure in like different parts of the world is good, so you get to know more people. So that way they were okay. And the third part was like, after getting my admit, my parents wanted me to continue my job till July end, because I
All
was
right.
leaving to college in August. But I'm like, no, I can't work after I've gotten an admit. And what I did was, I sent the mail to my manager that I'm resigning, and then I went and told my parents.
That is that's the perfect thing that you did, bro.
Yeah. After that, they couldn't say anything. They're like, okay, he's got an admit now. He can't. It's
No, there's
fine.
one more thing. If you do that, no, there's one more thing. Okay,
Hmm.
you have no other option but to convince them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, you don't have the luxury to say, oh no, we can talk tomorrow or something. No, you have to
Correct.
convince them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But damn, bro. Yeah. But I think like one last question I have, bro. Like,
Before the
huh,
question, okay, so there are two
huh,
things that you kind of told which I wanted to touch upon. So
huh,
one thing is regarding going doing an MEM instead of an MBA. An
huh.
MBA requires like a 4-year thing. That was
Right.
again a big setback for me. To two reasons again, which were like cons in terms of studying abroad, right?
Hmm.
One, I think, was the initial fixed cost. It's
Hmm.
super expensive.
For MBAs, yeah.
Yeah, and I, like, my family comes from this very risk averse kind of sensibilities, and they hate taking loans and all of that.
Right.
So I didn't want to go that route. Okay,
Hmm.
first of all, the second thing is the experience range, right?
Right.
It's on average, it's like 5 years,
Yeah.
5.5 years of experience that people
Top
get in
MBA
there. So
schools,
I
minimum
mean,
5 years, yeah.
yeah, and the minimum, like, the minimum cutoff itself is like 2 years. Okay, and then I had like 2.5 or something, and then I also was not convinced if I will add a lot of value, in
Hmm.
terms of uh, facilitating discussions in the classroom.
Right.
5 years, people who have 5 years of experience obviously will have much more better
Correct.
things. So I was also thinking, like, though I will get to learn a lot from them, okay, will I give anything back to them? That was a
Right.
very important, I think, consideration for me, which I
Hmm.
had. Yeah. So that again.
Right.
Now, weirdly enough, ISB has like 4 years of average work X, which is still
Y-
greater than mine.
Yeah.
But
I'm just gonna say
it's
that.
yeah. But that I guess I used that as one of the reasons for not probably going out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
So, and one more point that you mentioned is 10 years ahead, how, if you sit in your manager's seat, how would you feel, right? I did the exact same thing.
Hmm.
The problem was, I think, in an industry like semiconductor, it takes quite some time to become like a people person, like a people manager.
Yeah.
You have to probably go through the route of being a technologist for a quite some time, like at least
Correct.
you're talking 6-7 years. After that, you will have some people under you, but even then you will have to do some technology work, right,
Right.
yourself. and I've seen a few people who have become totally, administrative in their approach to work, and they obviously will need some amount of semiconductor knowledge to build roadmaps and stuff. But then in the end of the day, their work is just PPT making, and like, really
Presenting.
pulling people together, making people trust in the process, in the mission, vision, and all of that. So there are very few people, and it takes you a long time to reach there. So I think that was another consideration that even I felt, when if I am sitting in their position,
Right.
would I really want that for myself? But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
I
bro.
guess the very important thing is, right, both of us, pay was not at all a consideration in our mind,
Yeah.
in terms of leaving our job or doing something else. I mean, even right now, right, a lot of people want to get into consulting because of the pay, and the pay is insane, man. Starting it's okay, but
Hmm.
then if you become a consultant,
Right.
like a proper junior senior consultant, like 5 years or 6 years down the lane, your
Right.
pay is like, it's like in crores. Like that's insane. Okay, like,
Yeah.
so a lot of people have that vision, and it's not a bad vision. I'm not saying
Correct.
no. It's to each his own. Like how Tansei has that as his vision to be the rich person. I think it's like that. Okay, but then I guess what kind of drove my decision was, that is what also allowed me to quit my job. The fact that
Hmm.
I'm not looking at pay.
Correct. Yeah.
If I was looking at pay, then it would have been a much, much more difficult thing for me to do,
True.
to quit.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I completely resonate because I think the main thing was like, say, even for you, you would quit the job and say you hadn't gotten any admits. You'd have applied for it again the next year, but that 1 year you'd have done something else, and
Right,
like you'd have explored, you would have experimented, and I don't think you'd be unhappy saying that, oh, I'm getting a lesser salary and stuff like that. If you're truly enjoying the work or trying out something new, uh, you'd you'd be a little disappointed that you're not earning the same thing, but it would not make you like very unhappy about it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So yeah. So yeah, bro, like you're at the starting stage of your ISB program. So like one question I have is like, at the end of the program, what are two things that you want to take away from it?
Oh my God, very, very difficult question.
Because I'm going to
Uh,
bring it up 1 year later.
um, okay, let's see. I think the first most important thing is, see, we all have like characteristic flaws in our personality, and I
Mhm.
think through this entire MBA process, right, I've kind of become more aware of mine, what my weaknesses and strengths are. So I think one very key takeaway or improvement should be the fact that how I kind of pursue things that kind of attack my weaknesses, but then how I overcome them. I think that
Mm.
is super important for me. That one thing, because I really, really think I should utilize this 1 year to minimize my weaknesses and improve my strengths. Because probably this is going to be my my the last proper student experience, right?
Right.
After this, I'm pretty sure I'll not have a proper student experience like this. I might do like correspondence courses just for the
Right.
fun of it, maybe, but I'll not have a student experience, and I probably need to utilize a community, their culture, to really bring out the best in me and pursue that. That would be one very big takeaway, at least what I want to happen in this 1 year. um, that's a very big thing in itself, so I'll stop there. I don't have another one.
Awesome. Cool, bro. I think you've spoken 50 minutes on this thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I think I only spoke, bro. I'm sorry, like I didn't
no,
give
that's
you
good.
enough time to
The main
speak.
reason I did this episode is because in the course of few months, you're gonna get LinkedIn messages asking for advice, and you won't have time. But you'll feel sad that you're not responding to messages. So that time you can
Right.
share this link and be like, you can listen to this, and if you have more questions, come back to me, and I can bet you most of them don't come back to you.
So okay. Before we close, then, I mean,
Uh-huh.
if that is the reason, then I think there's one very important thing that we kind of missed out.
Uh-huh.
ISB specific questions. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just run you through very, very quick things in the application
Okay.
process. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is your essays. Okay.
Hmm.
So you guys, whoever is listening, so I'm referring to you people as you. Okay, you guys should probably look at points in your resume which kind of really flourish about what is the best things about you that you can bring out. And if you don't have anything, it's fine, just go do something now, you still have time. Just stop thinking that you don't have anything. I think that's a very big problem that a lot of people have, and they just stop there. What so many people I have seen, okay, if they don't have something in their resume, all they do is, okay, cool, we still have time to like apply or do many things. Why don't I go join some place and I can do some volunteering? Right, a
Right.
lot of people join Make a Difference or Teach for India, all of these
Right.
things, and they volunteer, and that becomes a very big thing in your resume, that you voluntarily went and did something good for society, and it's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can really write something very nicely in your essay for that aspect. And then if you have some extracurricular that you're very passionate about, like dance or singing, that again becomes a very good talking point. So have talking points. I think this is like super super important, and this is where I kind of really bogged it down in my interview. um, I had a lot of talking points, okay, in terms of what I've done itself in my life. I've done so many things that
Right.
my essays were jam packed with those things. Okay, I think you should focus on 2 to 3 things. That's enough. And really go deep in those things. And then another thing about the about ISB in particular is you need to have uh, clarity in your career goal. I think that is super important. I did not have that. That is why my interview took a very very wrong turn, bad turn. Okay,
Mm.
I don't want to get into the specifics of my interview, but it was sincerely bad, guys. Okay, I don't want to express. I really can't express how bad it was.
Right.
It was that bad. It was like 50 minutes, 50. The interview lasted, and it was like usually interviews last for half an hour. Mine
Mm.
lasted for 50 minutes, and it was like stress on stress on stress. So really start thinking about what you want to do in life, because I think the main reason for this is you have only 1 year here. You can utilize all the resources towards that, whatever this campus has to offer for you.
Right.
So I think these are the two very important things that you can keep in mind for getting into ISP. Yeah, so I've become a person who can give advice and all. Now, Sid,
Yeah, bro.
become a little bit big and all. In that sense.
Yes.
Nah, still way too small, peeps. But yeah, if you really
Still
wanted
learning.
my advice, that was there.
Cool, bro. I think we can end. It was
Yeah.
I cool. Yes.
All right, guys. I'm Lou,
And I'm Sid.
and we are